Hello. I don't want to get too deep into this, but I had been having dreams. I had a new dream last night that, well, actually, I was awake and then I fell asleep, and then the vision kept going kind of like a dream. I don't know if it was a vision or a dream, but there was a black serpent speaking to me, and I don't remember everything he said, something about he wanted me to join his team or help him defeat the enemy, whoever the enemy was. And the black serpent was very shiny. And I told him, I don't know, let me think about it, because I like to hear from each side, point of view from different beings. So I try to stay neutral without picking sides on anything anymore. But lately I've been trying to take a break from all this and relax, and I guess I should just, talk about this part, but and then I fell asleep and I saw Yehoshua in my dream, the Middle Eastern one from my last, from one of my older visions that I talked about in one of my videos about his return. Well, I saw Yehoshua in my dream and I looked into his blue eyes, and I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel anything bad. It felt like love, somewhat. And he offered me a hug, and he had bleeding palms. And he shook my hand, I shook his hand, and he had a hole with blood in his palm of his hand. And then I embraced, and Yehoshua gave me a hug, and I saw the kingdom of heaven open. And there was no sun or moon, it was just white light where you could see. And it was a sparkling castle. I've seen this castle many different times before. I don't know if it's the same one or one that looks the same. And I embraced, hugged Yehoshua, and then we turned into two dragon-like serpents, like serpents with dragon heads. So that was interesting, because the meaning could be the exact the meaning could be the exact opposite of what Christians and Jews think, that that Yehoshua is going to step on the devil. And then I had the dream of that afterwards, where when me and Yehoshua turned into the snake and dragon, we went right up into heaven. And then I had a vision that well, before all this started taking place, the prophecy is coming to pass on the native prophecy, because something happened last night that split my mind in two, gave me a headache. Well, when the prophecy speaks about certain situations, like man will lose their soul and angels will take over their body, that happened to my brother. He couldn't sleep, and he walked out of his bedroom, and he told me that there was my mom standing behind me. She was asleep, and I looked back and there was nobody there. And then he said he saw the form of mom turn into Charlie, my dog, my little Chihuahua dachshund, and I felt a heat on my ankle, and he said, Charlie's scratching your ankle, and I looked down and Charlie wasn't there. So there was a demon or something shape-shifting into my mom and Charlie behind me, trying to get my attention. And Bradley noticed it, my brother, because he was scared. He had a very scared look on his face, and he looked very serious. And I mean, he was like, "Did you see that, Mariah? Did you see that?" And I'm like, "No." And he started making a face like not exactly like that, but he made his own face, his own scared face. So after that, stayed up until like 4 in the morning because he saw that there was a demon walking around the house that I couldn't see, and he was seeing entities around the house that I couldn't see. And I said, "Well, are you seeing it in your mind, in your imagination, like I do, like in your head?" And he said no, that he was seeing the beings with his eyes. And he says he doesn't know why, but something was allowing him, or giving him the power to see whatever's in the house. And Bradley said, "Stay, stop right there." And this happened 2 nights ago, actually. And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Don't turn around." And then he's like, "There's something behind you, and it wants to kill you." So, this doesn't surprise me. It didn't scare me. It didn't shock me. It didn't really do anything. I've gone through scarier stuff, but I guess supposedly there was a demon that wanted to kill me, and Bradley was dead serious. I could tell he was serious in his face and his eyes. I can tell when he lies. I can tell when he's playing games. This time he wasn't playing a game, and he wasn't making up a lie. Now the tree on my house is going against the house. The tree is making sounds. Anyway, after that happened, he saw the demon go. After I started walking towards my room where he was, because Bradley was towards the kitchen, which is my brother's name. He's only 13 and he's 5'8". He's partially a giant, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. But anyways, his friend is 13 and his friend's already 6 feet tall. So there's definitely some genetic thing going on with them. Not sure. I think it's spiritual genetics for when we choose to become human before we become human, or wherever our souls were formed, however we were before we became human. Probably chose to be certain heights and stuff. I wouldn't doubt it. But I don't really know for sure. But then I had Bradley tell me, go. Somehow we ended up in the bathroom. I had to use the restroom. Somehow he was already in there. I don't know how we ended up in the bathroom, but then I locked it and closed it as if I was supposed to. I don't know why. And he said that the demon was looking for me. And then he said, "Don't open the door. It's right there at the door." And this is weird, because I didn't know if Bradley was losing it or if he was just not getting enough sleep or if he was just trying to play a game. I really don't know. But anyway, it wasn't a joke. He was like serious about it 2 nights ago. And he forgot everything that happened right instantly after everything happened. He didn't forget until after another situation. After we came out of the bathroom, I decided to burn some sage. Sage clears negative energy and bad vibration. And so actually I got my bottle of sage spray and I sprayed some in the house, and then I gave it to Bradley. He's like, "Give me the sage." And it was the spray stuff. And then he saw the entity or demon or whatever it was, and he sprayed it, and he said it had bat wings, and he sprayed it, and it instantly fell over and died. That's what he said. He said it was a tall black figure with bat wings or something. So, yep. That is what I was dealing with. And then after that, he passed out in the kitchen. Something started to take control of his body, and his hand started going off. I went into a deep spiritual voice that I speak that I don't really know what it is or what I'm saying, but usually when I think of what I want to say in English, it comes out in a different language with the deep, deep voice. So some people would call it tongues. It sounds more like a Harry Potter trying to talk to a snake in the Harry Potter movies, kind of, but deeper and a little bit more harsh in my voice. But when entities come near me, I speak this voice. Like in one of my other videos I've done that I had, I'm not sure if I deleted it or kept it on here. But somebody made a video, being rude about me, which that person knows who they are, and I blocked that person and so that they cannot comment. And insulted me because I have an ability to do this, whatever this is. And I don't want to do it on YouTube for attention, no. But I don't know if I'll ever have to. All I know is Bradley passed out, and when he passed out, he got up like he was lifeless, as if something was carrying him and holding him. And it was almost as if he was floating and he wasn't even walking. And he wasn't floating though, he was walking, but he acted like he was lifeless, couldn't control his arms or his head. His head was down and his arms were all the way falling down and his back was bent. And he started swinging at me and I had to grab his hand. And I told him I could see, and I invited Azazel, Lord King of the Fallen, into his body. I don't know why I did that. I do not have any idea or understanding of why I did that. And he attached an etherical cord, which is a spiritual cord, to my brother. And that was I can't remember if that was before or after he started swinging towards me. Oh, it was before. Then he started swinging towards me, grabbed his arms, and I told him, I am your master, I am your boss, in my spiritual voice, my dark voice. And I overpowered him so that he could relax. And he walked back, being possessed, back into his bedroom, and I told the demon to go to bed, the angel, to go to bed. I don't know if it was Azazel, the most powerful fallen, or if it was just a demon pretending to be him, or somehow I thought of that name, and I told Azazel, invited him into his body. And this is the days or the time when the native Hopis talk about people will lose their souls and angels and demons will take over their body. And I hope that if this does happen, it's not for evil. I think it could be for evil, but I think that somehow it could also be used for good. I just don't know how. But as many people don't know, angels have more understanding than a lot of humans. They know more than a lot of humans do. So, being that said, I have no fear of nothing. I've hugged Satan before. I told Satan I loved him in the lake of fire when I visited him. In fact, Satan is a giant red reptilian, and I think I've said this before. I'm not sure if I said this before, but he looks a lot like the god Jehovah from the Bible. And they're both red-looking reptilian, like alligator creatures. I can't really express how they look. They have like red, like hard skin. It looks like kind of like what you would see in a movie, like what you would depict Satan in a movie to be like. He had a very thick, like lizard tail with black spikes all over his back. So there was a few going down the middle, and on the sides of his back there was 3 rows of spikes going down his tail on his back. And wide eyes with brown slits, like a cat, kind of. So I've experienced having that vision when I was tripping out. And sometimes this happens when I'm smoking marijuana, and sometimes it happens when I'm not smoking marijuana. So I've been dealing with things like this before I even started smoking. And when I started smoking medical marijuana for my depression, that's when these abilities started kicking in, and that's when I was able to spiritually connect with my divine purpose or knowing who I am and stuff like that is when I gave up Christianity and started smoking weed. It's a very good thing. I do suggest doing that, but it may not work for everybody. This is just my experience. I don't know about anybody else's, you know, if their self got better or if they felt better in their life because of it. It's a hard process I've been going through. And I also had another dream last night that there was a white snake and a black snake, and I'm not sure if they were brothers or something. But the black snake asked me to join him. I wasn't sure, and then it looked like the black snake was trying to kill me. His mouth opened and it looked like he was trying to eat me. Because I told him I wasn't sure. I said maybe, and he didn't want that answer. And so that's when Yehoshua stepped in again. Yehoshua stepped in and protected me, and I saw the dove, what the Holy Spirit would look like as a, you know, a dove bird. They're really cute little birds, very pretty. And that's when heaven opened up. And I've been getting a lot of these dreams and visions every night for weeks, and I've been getting them more and more and more almost every night. But I can't remember all of them, and I don't write them down because I'm tired and I don't want to deal with it. And I've actually been trying to avoid having dreams and visions and trying to avoid all this because I need a break. But God's not letting me have a break. So whatever gods or whatever is working with me will not let me have a break. So I obviously don't have much of a choice but to share my experience. And this is what's going on. It's going to be happening. You're going to see neighbors that act soulless, that act lifeless, but don't worry, there's just the end times. Many Christians have faith and they have hope, but they are the ones that are in fear. So if you're a Christian, try not to fear. Don't be screaming to God for mercy. Don't be crying. If you just have confidence in yourself, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jew, you guys are all fighting your own battles. You guys are all fighting for what you believe is good, even though it's not good. But I understand because I used to be a Christian. You feel like you're fighting for what is holy, righteous, and true, for, you know, the kingdom of God and Jesus Christ and things like that. And I completely understand and relate from my past. But once you realize everything is backwards, upside down, twisted, then you realize God is possibly Satan and that Satan's possibly God. But then you realize, well, the name Satan would never existed. Then you have to find the real true names of God back thousands of years ago that are not even in the Bible. So then you have to look into the word Jehovah. What does that mean? Okay, you have to look into the Sumerian and Canaanite texts. And also, I've been led to more videos and find so very, very proud and happy to find out about my DNA, which I'm not fully ready to express yet because I'm still doing research on it. It's absolutely amazing, some of the things I found out I am that I never knew I was. So, I'm not completely what I look like I am. And I'm very proud of my DNA results that I got from Ancestry. Okay, I can't say it right now because I don't have all the information written down. I have some of it written down, but I have to gather more. So I'm also getting a t-shirt with my part of my results on it. And back to my dream that when I saw the black and the white snake, the black snake got stomped on and from Yehoshua in my dream after I sent fire and burned it and it died. So like a black snake that was able to talk. And then after I burned the snake, Yehoshua stomped on it as if we were on the same team. I was like, wow, that was strange. Why did we just step on a talking snake? That was pretty screwed up, but it tried to eat me. So, it tried to bite me, so I guess it got what it deserved. I don't know. I can't really judge that situation. I didn't really know what the entity was. it died. So basically, I guess that's where the idea that Jesus steps on the serpent, God will destroy the devil, or some kind of ideas like that happened in my dream. So I had like 4 or 5 dreams last night, and I just shared those. Well, it was all like one dream, but I've cut it out into 4 or 5 little sections. And I asked, like I prayed in my mind, not knowing to who, and I said, whoever created this earth, please show me who you are, whether you're God or Satan or Enki or Enlil from the tablets of what is it, tablets of Thoth, or the emerald tablets, something like that. It's ancient tablets that were made before the Bible. And I guess that they're now being exposed to the public with the past couple of years. And it seems like it might be pretty new information that I'm just barely seeing on YouTube. So it seems like it's been within the recent past 3 years that these tablets are all of a suddenly coming onto YouTube and stuff like that and being talked about. And there's Tablet of Hermes, which I haven't gotten too much into. I just now received a little pamphlet book with like maybe 30 pages in it. And it's the Tablet of Hermes, and it makes so much sense on some of what it says. It's absolutely amazing, actually. I've only read the first 3 pages, and the first 3 pages answered like 5 questions I could never answer on my own about God. Because it literally goes down to what you see with your eyes, as in literally what you see is what you get. Tablet of Hermes, 10,000 years ago. Going back to older writings. And there's a lot of ancient writings that are coming to the surface. Not just the Tablet of Hermes and the Tablet of Thoth, but the Book of Enki and lost books of the Bible, like the Apocrypha. I haven't read any of that. And there's the Nag Hammadi, which I have, and there's many ancient scriptures that are coming to the surface from Egypt and from other places all around the world. This is the time that it's starting to be revealed. So this is important that in this year, 2018, we do research on these. If you're a spiritual person and you like to learn and study about mythology, ancient religions, gods, and try to find and form a personal relationship with these gods, and if you want to enlighten yourself and gain more understanding and wisdom to bring about in your own life, to help you from within yourself and give you peace and harmony, and to help you in life with people and things like that, and to help you spiritually develop into a better person, and help you understand why you're here on this earth and things like that. I think those would all be good books to read. Of course, you have to keep in caution. Not everything is 100% true, but not everything is 100% false either. So it is good to read with an open mind, but not accept everything, but not reject everything either. So it's good to kind of, for me, to stay in the middle and kind of look at it and think about it and see what I believe in and what I don't, based on the spirit within me, or based on my heart, or what I know to be right. So sometimes that's all we can really do, is go within ourselves, look at what do we believe on the inside, deep within the inside. You have to go past the man-made beliefs and go to your core of yourself in meditation and find your God self and your divine soul, your divine being, and have your soul speak to you like I have. And our souls have different names from our human bodies. They're not, my physical name is Mariah, but my soul's name is, I had my soul's name written down on my broken phone, but my phone is now broken, so I can't get my soul's name back. Would have to go back into remembrance to try to remember it. It's not Maximilian. It started with Max something. It was like a powerful magician I was in a past life or something like that my soul told me I was, but I don't remember the name. but I was supposed to be a powerful magician or sorcerer. Forgot what it was. Max something. With a ILLION at the end, something like that. I'm trying to remember. Because I've had visions of past lives, gone into tripped out meditation while I'm stoned, like seeing past lives. So yeah, not all my past lives I will ever express to have the whole world end up, thinking I'm nuts. But anyways, nobody would believe me, and even if someone did, it wouldn't matter, I guess. But it is pretty cool having these experiences from time to time.
Don't go in there.
As long as they're told to somebody. But if they're kept in the dark and in secret, it's not as it's not useful or worthwhile to keep it to yourself.